Today, we're peeling back the layers on the really intense battle for TikTok's future. We're looking at the national security concerns that sit just beneath its incredibly popular surface.
Right.
We're really digging into the U.S. government's ongoing challenge with TikTok's parent company, ByteDance. You've brought us a stack of sources covering, well, everything from high-level government worries to the intricate details of ByteDance's massive AI operations.
And even the bidding war for the app itself.
Exactly. So our goal today is to try and cut through the noise, help you grasp why this isn't just some political skirmish.
It's really a critical struggle for American security and influence in the digital age.
Okay, let's set the scene. In a digital world where borders seem to just blur, there's this crucial battle unfolding for control of your data, your digital space. Right now, ByteDance, a Chinese tech giant, owns TikTok, an app used by, what, over 100 million Americans?
That's the number, yeah.
Yeah.
A huge user base.
And our government, from Capitol Hill all the way to the Supreme Court, has flagged this as a serious national security risk.
They're worried your personal data could potentially fall into Beijing's hands, and maybe even that the content you see could be subtly manipulated.
Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick put it pretty bluntly. He said, you can't have Chinese control and have something on 100 million American phones.
It really frames the issue starkly.
So this isn't just about an app, is it? It's about who truly holds the power in your pocket and what that means for American digital sovereignty.
And there's a deadline looming mid-September. The clock is ticking.
Will America finally insist on a change of ownership? Or will China's strategic maneuvers keep our data potentially vulnerable?
That's the big question.
So let's start right there. The heart of this conversation really lies in these stark national security warnings. What exactly are U.S. lawmakers so concerned about when they look at TikTok?
Well, the sources lay these threats out quite clearly. And they center on significant risks to American interests precisely because TikTok is owned by ByteDance, a company based in China. The worries really seem to fall into three key areas.
Okay.
First, and maybe the biggest one, is data collection and potential sharing. The major concern is that TikTok might be sharing American user data with the Chinese government, or, that foreign entities, including China, could somehow access it.
Right, that's been the drumbeat for a while now.
Exactly. Lawmakers have consistently called for ByteDance to sell TikTok to ensure that American user data stays protected from potential foreign influence. Now, TikTok CEO Shou Zichu denies these claims, says they don't share data with the Chinese Communist Party, and they've committed to these firewall protections.
But the government isn't fully convinced.
That apprehension remains, definitely. Then there's the serious concern about content manipulation.
The influence aspect.
Right. The fear here is that the app's powerful platform, with its reach to 100 million Americans, could be used by the Chinese government to influence what users see. Imagine the potential for shaping public opinion or pushing certain narratives.
That's a sobering thought.
Again, the TikTok CEO insists the app will not be manipulated by any government, but this is a core point of conflict.
And the third area?
The algorithm. Even if other parts of the U.S. operations were sold off, there's this deep-seated worry about ByteDance keeping ownership of TikTok's incredibly influential algorithm. Like Commerce Secretary Lutnick said, you can't have Chinese control and have something on 100 million American phones. It underscores that fear of China maintaining technological leverage.
So these don't sound like abstract fears at all. What does this actually mean for everyday Americans?
That's the crucial question, isn't it? What's the real-world impact? I mean, consider how leading bidder Kevin O'Leary just bluntly described TikTok as spyware because of its Chinese ties.
Spyware, that's a really loaded term.
It is. It highlights the perceived threat to personal privacy and, frankly, national integrity. And get this. The U.S. Supreme Court, in a unanimous decision, ruled that the national security risk from TikTok's ties to China overcomes concerns about limiting free speech.
Wow. Unanimous. That's a powerful legal statement.
It is. It shows just how seriously the highest court views this potential threat. It's not just about videos. It's about who knows what about you and who might be influencing you.
Okay, so the U.S. government clearly sees TikTok as a vulnerability. But let's flip the coin and look at ByteDance itself. Our sources reveal it's, well, much bigger than just TikTok. This gives us a critical perspective on what's really at stake, right?
Absolutely. When you connect the dots, ByteDance emerges as this incredibly formidable global tech powerhouse. Their financial resilience alone is remarkable. Take 2022, for instance.
Hey, bye.
ByteDance announced record earnings. Their core profitability, EBITDA soared 79% to 25 billion US dollars.
25 billion.
Yep. And that surge actually surpassed Chinese tech giants Tencent and Alibaba for the first time.
Even with TikTok losing money.
That's right. It happened despite TikTok's reported losses and these ongoing U.S. attempts to ban the app. This kind of financial strength gives them a massive buffer against U.S. pressure. They aren't easily pushed around.
Okay, so they have deep pockets. What about their tech, their AI?
Well, their AI dominance is truly staggering. The sophisticated recommendation algorithms that power TikTok, that's the core strength. In fact, these algorithms are seen as so valuable that ByteDance has apparently indicated it would rather shut down TikTok in the U.S. than sell them.
Shut it down entirely rather than sell the algorithm.
That's the indication. And beyond that, they're really at the cutting edge. They're developing advanced deepfake video systems, text-to-video models like OmniHuman 1 and Magic Video V2. These apparently outperform almost all industry leaders based on human tests. And their marketing AI, Goku Plus CS, claims it can cut production costs by 99%.
99%? That's huge.
It shows a massive investment in foundational AI technology, not just flashy features.
And it's not just TikTok in their portfolio, is it?
Not at all. They maintain an incredibly diversified portfolio. Beyond TikTok and its Chinese version Douyin, they own Lemonade, that's a sort of Pinterest-Instagram hybrid. It apparently got over 16 billion views last quarter.
16 billion. Wow.
And then there's their Byte Plus division. This part of the company actually sells TikTok's underlying technology, things like live streaming tools, chat features, e-commerce integrations, video editing to other businesses globally.
So they're essentially exporting China's tech influence.
Effectively, yes. It creates multiple revenue streams and deepens their reach way beyond just consumer social media.
So it sounds like ByteDance isn't just fighting for TikTok. They're defending this sprawling, interconnected digital empire.
Yeah.
How significant is that diversification strategically?
Oh, it's absolutely critical for them. It gives them immense strategic flexibility, financial leverage. It lets them absorb hits from regulatory fights like this one and just keep expanding globally.
It highlights the IP battle, too.
Definitely. ByteDance clearly sees its algorithms as a core asset for all its ventures. This isn't just about one app. It feels more like a fight over who controls foundational digital tech itself.
Okay, so given this recognized threat and ByteDance's power, what steps has the U.S. government actually taken?
Well, the U.S. has acted, but it's been a pretty complex journey, honestly. Congress passed a law, President Biden signed it, mandating ByteDance either sell TikTok or face a nationwide ban.
Right. The divestiture ban law. What was the original deadline?
January 19th, 2025. But what's fascinating here is President Trump's role. He initially tried to ban TikTok, right?
Yeah, during his first term.
But then he later seemed to credit the app with helping him connect with young voters. And since then, he's granted multiple extensions. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt announced a third 90-day extension just this past June.
So the deadlines keep shifting.
They do. Although, Commerce Secretary Lutnick warned that if China doesn't approve a deal by mid-September 2025, TikTok will effectively go dark in the U.S.
And China's approval is needed.
Yes, that's a crucial piece. And reports suggest China is actively obstructing a deal. They apparently hit the brakes right after President Trump announced those sweeping tariffs. They explicitly said they wouldn't approve a deal until tariff talks happened.
So TikTok is basically a bargaining chip in the bigger trade war.
It certainly looks that way. Meanwhile, you have the legal battle. TikTok and ByteDance sued the U.S. government, arguing the law violates the First Amendment.
But how did that go?
The Supreme Court unanimously upheld the law back in December 2023. They ruled that the national security risk outweighs the free speech concerns in this case.
So the law stands. But this isn't just happening in courtrooms, is it? ByteDance is spending serious money to influence things.
Oh, absolutely. They are pouring resources into lobbying. ByteDance and TikTok spent a record $2.68 million lobbying federal officials and Congress in just the first 3 months of 2024.
Wow.
Plus a $4.5 million TV and digital ad campaign opposing the ban bill. And they paid $80,000 to lobbyist David Urban.
They're clearly playing hardball on all fronts.
Definitely. They are fully committed to fighting this.
Okay, so with all this tension, the deadlines, the legal fights, who's actually stepping up to potentially buy TikTok's U.S. side and keep it under American control?
Well, there's a pretty dynamic bidding war shaping up, but also some serious warnings being issued. Among the key American bidders, Oracle seems to be a frontrunner in talks to manage and secure the U.S. user data.
Secure the data specifically.
Right. The goal is ensuring it remains inaccessible to foreign entities, including China. Separately, you have Kevin O'Leary and Frank McCourt Jr. They've put in a bid of $20 billion in cash.
$20 billion cash. What's their plan?
They want to redesign the app using blockchain technology. The idea is to give users more direct, verifiable control over their own data. And O'Leary, as we mentioned, called TikTok spyware. He also noted that some Republican senators, Tom Cotton, Rick Scott, Ron Johnson, are losing patience with the extensions, basically saying the law is the law.
Interesting. Who else is in the running?
There's another consortium led by Jesse Tinsley, founder of Employer.com, and it includes the CEO of Roblox. They're reportedly offering over $30 billion.
Over $30 billion.
That's the report. And then you have other interested names floating around. YouTube star Mr. Beast, Elon Musk, former Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, and Rumble, the video site.
Quite a mix. And didn't President Trump suggest the government take a stake?
Yeah, he apparently floated the idea that the U.S. government could hold up to 50% ownership, though the details are fuzzy. It signals a desire for strong American control. He also hinted at reducing tariffs if a sale goes through.
Okay, so lots of potential buyers. But what about ByteDance's own proposal, this new version idea?
Ah, yes. ByteDance reportedly suggested offering a sort of revamped TikTok just for U.S. users instead of selling the whole U.S. operation.
How did that go over?
Not well with some bidders. Kevin O'Leary fiercely rejected it, called it laughable and a Trojan horse for continued spyware concerns. He basically said, there's not a chance you can let the guys that wrote the spyware write the new spyware. What, are we all idiots? Zero probability that works.
Wow, that's a pretty strong rejection. Really highlights the deep mistrust there.
It does. It sounds like many see it as an attempt to sidestep genuine American control and the core security requirements.
Yeah, underscores the need for verifiable control.
Precisely.
You know, listening to all this, it really feels like this discussion about TikTok isn't happening in a vacuum. It seems like it's part of a much larger struggle playing out globally.
Oh, absolutely. This whole deep dive really illuminates the digital battlefield we're currently navigating. The TikTok saga is such a clear example of the escalating U.S.-China tech rivalry. We see it playing out in other critical areas, too, like the fight over HBM chips, those high-bandwidth memory chips vital for AI.
Right, the export controls.
Exactly. The Biden administration banned certain exports in 2024. Now, Chinese officials are reportedly pressing the Trump administration to ease those controls during trade talks. And get this, NVIDIA and AMD actually agreed to pay the U.S. government 15% of revenues from certain chip sales in China just to get export licenses.
They agreed to pay the government a cut.
15%. It shows just how tangled economics and national security have become. Access to vital tech is literally being negotiated for a share of the profits.
That's incredible. And this brings us back to AI.
It does. And AI's double-edged sword, including its impact on jobs. ByteDance's advanced AI, while innovative, also fuels those worries about content manipulation and data privacy we talked about. But AI is also rapidly reshaping industries, sometimes leading to significant job displacement. ByteDance itself laid off over 700 Malaysian employees, transitioning to AI for content moderation to boost efficiency.
So AI efficiency led to job losses there.
It did. And it paints this picture of a future where tech progress, if not managed carefully, could really erode traditional job markets and concentrate power. We're even seeing signs domestically. Computer science grads here in the U.S. are facing a 6.1% unemployment rate among recent grads. That's double the rate for biology or art history grads right now.
Why is that?
Well, tech companies are embracing AI coding tools, leading to layoffs and slower hiring for certain roles. It's a ripple effect.
So the future of our digital landscape, our economy, even specific jobs, it's all tied up in these huge geopolitical tech battles.
It really is. It's this complex web where technology, national interest, economic stability, they're all completely intertwined.
What an incredible analysis. We've really dug into the geopolitical tug of war over TikTok. We've explored the deep national security fears, the impressive financial and AI power of ByteDance, the U.S. government's fight through laws and courts, and this fierce debate over who truly controls our digital future.
It's just such a powerful reminder, isn't it? In our hyper-connected world, the apps we use every single day have these massive, far-reaching implications. The struggle for digital sovereignty, for control, it's far from over. And the choices being made right now will likely shape our security, our economy, and our tech independence for generations.
So here's something to think about. As you consider the free services you use every day, maybe ask yourself, are we truly in control of our data? Or are we perhaps willingly handing over our digital future, byte by byte, to those who might not always have our nation's best interests at heart?